I'm really excited to show you in a second our latest battle report, the Grey Knights versus the Chaos. Grey Knights have been a popular request for a while. But before we do, I just really wanted to show you our new studio. This is our first game that we're releasing in the new studio, and we're really excited about it. But that also comes with some caveats. Because every location has its own unique sound challenges, we had some sound challenges of our own on this very first battle report in this location. So I just wanted to give you a heads up. It's not perfect. It's not bad, but it's not perfect. But I hope you enjoy this game. The Grey Knights versus the Chaos!
On a once verdant planet, in a prolific sector of Imperium space, mankind thrived. Until chaos consumed the planet, warping its nature and extinguishing all life, all resistance, and all hope. Chaos cannot be tolerated. The enemies of mankind and the Emperor will not be tolerated. Repelling the forces of chaos, we have Paul Lee and his Grey Knights.
I've been with Play on Tabletop for 18 months now, and most of the time I have been in the shadows behind the camera. Today is my day. Today, I get to bring my army up here, and I get to show what my Grey Knights can do.
Fielding an imposing force of Dreadknights and Terminators, the Grey Knights are made to fight against chaos. Weapons specifically crafted to deal with hordes of demons, powerful psychers that can stand toe-to-toe with any abomination that comes from the warp.
Ready to purge the heretics.
The Grey Knights will test their might against Chaos!
Yes!
Knights.
What?
Here we go! Rampage!
Welcome, Play on Tabletop fans, to this edition of 40K in 40 Minutes. I'm your host, JT McDowell, and today we will see who has the better knights in a classic matchup of Grey Knights versus Chaos Knights.
I'm Tycho. I have pretty straightforward lists. Knight lists tend to be pretty compact, so I have a Tyrant, a Desecrator, a Rampager, 2 War Dogs, 1 with autocannons, and because I didn't have a final knight to fit that final slot, I am bringing along an auxiliary detachment of 1 character of a Lord Discordant on Hellsteed.
Chaos Knights are an incredibly tough army with plenty of high effective shooting and armaments. This is going to be a tough battle for Paul.
Today I'm bringing my Grey Knights to Play on. It has been a team effort to put this army list together. It has the Turbo Dork Blue Steel, and Steven has helped with detailing, and Tack also helped with the OSL.
Paul's Grey Knights are the light against the darkness. I mean, seriously, look at how shiny they are. All thanks to this battle's sponsor. Turbo Dork, radical metallic paints to make your gray world colorful, which it did literally. We took these gray plastic miniatures, these Grey Knights, and hit the entire army with Turbo Dork's blue steel. The result is an incredibly vibrant and eye-catching army that really stands out. Check out Turbo Dork's incredible range of unique colors and crazy paint names and add some pop to your miniatures. Will the shiny armor withstand the onslaught of incredibly powerful firepower coming its way?
Well, it depends on where those Dread Knights end up. This is going to be on some level a joust of, like, who makes a better knight.
Those look very Demon Hammerable.
Paul Lee, a veteran of Warhammer 40K, has not played much since 7th edition, often known as the hidden 6th member of Play On. He's going to need to adapt to 9th quickly if he hopes to succeed. In today's 9th edition battle, we are playing the Strike Force mission Overrun from the Grand Tournament 2020 mission pack. There are 6 objectives on this map with 1 in each deployment zone. The primary objective, Domination, awards 5 victory points for each of the following conditions: controlling 2 or more objective markers, controlling 3 or more objective markers, and controlling more objective markers than your opponent, to a maximum of 15 primary points per turn and 45 for the game. For secondary choices, Tycho has elected to go with Engage on all fronts, giving him points for being in 3 or 4 table quarters, Grind them down, which gives him 3 victory points if more enemy units are destroyed in a round, and Bring It Down, where he scores victory points for taking down enemy monsters or vehicles. He's eyeing those Dreadknights worth 3 victory points each for sure. Paul has taken the obvious one against Chaos Knight's army in Titan Hunter, which scores him 10 victory points for destroying 1 knight and 15 for destroying 3 or more. He's also taken Engage on All Fronts, which is not bad considering he outnumbers Tycho's forces. Paul's last secondary choice is Raise the Banners High, where he scores victory points for objectives he's performed an action on. It could be a good choice, but Paul may be underestimating how quickly those knights will be on top of his infantry. The mission Overrun has the players deploying on long edges. Paul is the defender and Tycho is the attacker, Paul choosing the side with more terrain, hoping to hide his forces as much as he can. Let's see how the two players set up.
For myself, all my Grandmaster in Nemesis Dreadknight will be in reserve. I was told I was going to play Chaos. I didn't know I was going to play Chaos Knights. So my strategy for the Chaos Knights is to get in close with my Demon Hammers. I'm going to have to teleport real close, somewhere, somehow, and get right in there.
The Demon Greathammers are his best chance at taking down the Chaos Knights, and he wants to keep them safe, but he will need to make 3 long charges when they eventually come in. Putting them in deep strike might be a mistake.
Deploy my Terminators with Falchions behind this terrain here.
Are they touching the terrain?
No. Just behind.
Paul is taking advantage of the obscuring keyword on those ruins, and Tycho is going to have a hard time drawing line of sight to that small infantry unit.
Okay, hitting them is going to be hard.
That's the idea.
Alrighty. War Dog. With Melt-A-Spear and Melt-A-Gun and Chainsaw.
My Terminator with Warding Staff and Psycannon in this terrain and close to the center objective.
For Warhammers.
I'll deploy here.
Paul is choosing to start the game in the Tide of Shadows, giving all of his Grey Knights cover at all times and an added bonus of -1 to hit if they are touching terrain. He's banking on this tide to keep his unit safe out in the open should Tycho go first.
Right up the gut, because I don't know where you're going to be yet.
My Interceptor with Falchion.
This is the hill, isn't it? That's cool.
This Interceptor squad will deploy behind my Terminator squad with Falchion.
Hello, Falchion boys. That is a Tyrant. 3-4 squads over that side. Madisco Lord. Mr. Cockroach himself.
Dreadknight.
Oh, he's a sneaky Dreadknight.
It's very sneaky.
I cannot see him. Even Abaddon cannot see him. Although I can't probably draw lines of sight from Abaddon. That'd be mean, wouldn't it?
They're in the board behind this hill here.
Paul has definitely hidden a number of units deep in the corner out of line of sight, but also out of the fight. Heading to the roll to go first here, and my guess Paul is looking to go second.
Who goes first?
All right, let's roll for it.
Ooh, it looks like it's your pick, Paul.
I would choose to go first.
Okay.
This will stay.
I bet they're gonna do some actions, aren't they?
Yes. This will stay. This is going to move and advance.
Ooh.
My Terminators cannot do anything to those Chaos Knights, so they have to raise the banners. They need to take those objectives.
It looks like Paul has dangled some infantry at the front of his line, hopefully to claim those objectives, but he's left them far enough forward that I'm going to be able to get to them.
End of movement phase. This squad will raise the banner on this objective here. This squad will raise the banner on this objective, and this squad will raise the banner on that objective.
Paul's putting a lot of faith in Tide of Shadows and Terminator armor moving out onto those objectives. It's going to pay off if he survives, but there's a lot of firepower coming his way.
And then in my psychic phase, I'm going to do Gates of Infinity. Dreadknight here.
Okay.
Onto the Purgation squad.
Ooh, not very aggressive with Gates of Infinity and fails to claim engage on all fronts this turn. That could cost him later in the game. Let's see if he can weather this chaos storm that's coming.
Yeah, his astral aim itself. Goes up.
Oh yeah.
Onto shooting phase. They will try to shoot. What's the toughness of your wall?
8, 7, 7. 5 hits.
Strength 7.
Toughness 7.
Roll up. -1.
1 hits. I took a load.
What do you?
Disco's going to advance. Oh, look at him go! Off he goes! He'll wander into the crater, so he gets 2 off of his movement. But he's still claiming that objective. Heck, the Rampage will advance too. He's quick!
Tycho has advanced 2 of his key units dangerously close to Paul.
It's just an obstacle. Let's go. Hop around the corner with his 14 inches. Beating on those guys. Let's start where it matters.
Where it matters.
Yes! Evo, the undefeated, is going to unload into the Terminator.
He unleashes the Tyrant on one poor Terminator squad. Even with -1 a hit and a 4-up invuln save, those Terminators will fall one by one to that overwhelming firepower, and boy, did they ever.
And now here's the fun one. Against one Terminator. Volcano Lance. 5 shots.
Oh. That's so evil.
3 hits. Strength 14. Only 2 wounds at -5.
Oh, Snake Eyes.
He takes a total of, hold on, wait for it. Oh, it's actually, he doesn't take that much damage. He only takes 13 damage. My War Dog with auto cannons. He's going to try and take one of the Predators that wounded him. So he's going to do 43 shots. So 2, that's 10 shots.
Your
And
dice is high.
Really? 7, wounding on 3.
1, so it is 3 up.
Oh, yeah, you get cover everywhere, don't you?
Hits.
Damn! Only 1 Predator down. War Dog is going to attempt to shoot his 1 melta gun. He'll head here, and his melta lance will head that way. Assault D3, he'll be hitting on 5s, I believe. 3 shots. No hits. Melta gun into your other Terminators. Fails to hit. The Diamond Dust is going to unload all of its shots into the far Terminators. It's stubborn as well. So his Diamond Dust hits. Strength like 16 or something.
Still miss 1. Oh. Taking 1 Termi off.
Lord Discordant on his Hellsteed. He's going to Bale Flamer into the Terminators. Oh, lordy! 6 shots to Bale Flamer. Strength 6, I believe. That's 6 wounds. Yeah. 2 down. I can make my charge harder. That is that for my shooting. Lord Discordant on Hellsteed is going to charge the Terminators.
There you go.
That'll do it. I will pay 2 CP to be able to charge my Rampager. He does get +1 to his charges as well. 7 + 1, 8. Raw smash! Here we go! Rampage! That's a lot of hits. 15 wounds, -2.
-2. Wiped out.
He's got a 6-inch consolidate. Means your strike squad can fight.
Oh, the Lord Discordant, so many attacks. One by one, the Terminators fall. Paul is left with 1 model, and he needs to make this save.
So,
I'm going to command reroll that. No, did not help.
D3 wounds. Down he goes.
And it's Tycho's turn, and he has models wholly within 3 table quarters to score him 2 victory points. He also scores 3 points for grind them down, having destroyed more units than Paul did, giving him a total of 5 victory points to end the battle round. I wonder if that's enough of a lead with Paul's hammers coming in on round 2. Paul gains a command point here at the start of turn 2. It brings him to a whopping 13. He also scores 2 points for Raise the Banners High. However, he holds no objectives of his own right now, and he fails to score any primary points, so that's going to leave him with a grand total of 2 points at the start of his turn. Paul is forced to fall back the Interceptor Squad, and I'm curious to see how he plans to get his units out from that back corner.
Alright, I'm gonna shunt.
Ah, the personal teleporter. He's going to use that to get the Interceptors into the fight.
These two.
What? What's happening? They're coming from behind.
And here they are! 2 Grandmasters in Dreadknight armor go after the Tyrant, and 1 is hunting the Rampager.
Into my psychic phase. Dreadknight with Psycannon will beat some Fray. Goes off.
Ooh, more Dreadknights!
Guess I have to smite the Rampager. Goes off. Alright, smite. Yeah, that's 6.
He's a demon.
So 3 wounds.
3 whole wounds.
And this will do the same. So I need 7. Cast Sanctuary on this Grandmaster. 6. Goes off. Gonna smite him again.
Paul smites with all his Grandmasters and only does a single wound to the Tyrant. He's also casting Astral Aim on the Purgation Squad, so they won't have to have line of sight to shoot.
So Purgation Squad will shoot at them. That dog there.
The dog.
Come on, real good.
Toughness 7, wounding on 4s. That's 3. Only gets 3. That's 1 damage.
This squad will shoot. Hey, this squad will. 3s.
Quite a few. Oh, look at those ones.
I'll use Psychic Onslaught on Grandmaster here to boost up his heavy Psycannon. That's a stratagem for 2 CP.
He psychically boosts his psychic cannons.
He's going to shoot at Rampager.
A Rampager, not in the butt? How could you? Just like this.
Tune up. Rolling once.
Ooh, that's nice. 5 hits. 4 wounds. 2 wounds. I got a 5-up save on this. 2 damage apiece.
2 damage apiece.
So that's 6 damage.
Without Strength 8 on the Psycannons though, those other Dreadknights are having a hard time wounding their targets.
5 up. No 5s.
No 5s! Oh, there we go. 4. Minus 1?
Minus 1.
2 damage apiece?
Yep.
Yeah, I'll see if he roll one of those ones. So he takes 2 damage. And I'm down 4. That's an 8. That won't do it.
This Dreadknight. Yeah.
He's in.
What I need is the Grandmaster to get it. I don't really care about the other guy. That I need to. No. Nah, I need to command reroll, not. Yeah, command reroll.
Paul needs his hammer in there, and no, he doesn't make it. I think the Rampager may have dodged the bullet there.
And 2 more charges over here.
This Grandmaster will charge Tyrant. Because he is close to first to Fray, he gets a reroll.
Ooh. Good thing.
Yeah.
That'll do it.
Yes! This is why he's here.
Not good, but that other one won't make it.
Yes! This is why he's here, part 2.
This is not ideal, and I managed to forget to overwatch, and this could be bad.
A Dreadfist will go into your Rapinger.
Right.
Okay.
3 wounds.
3 wounds.
So
1,
3, 4,
1,
5.
5.
I think he's bracketed now.
My Grandmaster will now attack your Tyrant.
I'm going to interrupt. Okay. Down to 2 CP. I'm going to kick him in the face. The dice go ice. 6 wounds.
2 wounds.
Yep, 2 wounds.
Nemesis Demon Greathammers are such great weapons against Chaos Knights. Knights typically have no invuln save in the fight phase, and this weapon is strength 12 and d6 damage. This might take down the Tyrant.
1, 2, 3, 4.
I think I would re-roll that 1. Okay.
So, 4 wounds, how many apiece?
46.
Of course, he breaks the bank. A Rampager gets to fight back. Yep. He is 2 hits. I'm going to CP reroll.
Paul needs to make 2 of 3 invulnerable saves here, but no! One of his Dreadknights is down.
Zing, zing.
The Lord Discordant has finished off a squad of interceptors, but Paul's in 3 tail quarters here, and he gets 2 points for engage on all fronts. And he continues to have 2 banners raised. Tycho's going to stay in the lead for 5 victory points to 4, and still has all his knights, although the Tyrant is on its bottom bracket. Let's see what he can do. Looks like Tycho has elected to fall back his knight here. Not a bad idea, however, he can't get far enough away from those Dreadknights to save him from heroic intervention. However, he will be able to shoot at them this phase with all of his models as they are no longer engaged in combat.
And I can claim the objective from down here. So I can do lots of shenanigans here. Oh, he gains a wound, so he's not bracketed anymore. 2 melted guns into to your Warlord, and everything else into the Dreadknight. We'll start with the Volcano Lance. 2 hits, wounding on 2s. I will command reroll. Didn't do another 1.
-4, so 4 up.
Tyrant on his final bracket, coupled with Tide of Shadows, odds are not good here, and Tycho only manages to inflict 1 wound on the Grandmaster Dreadknight.
Danada. Oh, the Tyrant isn't looking so good. The Desecrator into that same guy. That'll be 2 hits. 2 wounds. Ooh. Ooh.
I'm gonna re-roll 1. Come on, give me a 4. Yes!
So it's only 1d6 damage. 3. Stubbing away. Oh, look, stubber hits a lot. And 1 wound.
1 wound. How many armor?
Both autocannons into the Grandmaster.
Okay.
So it's 43 shots, 6, 7 shots. All of them hit. 5 wounds, -1. 6 damage. All right, it's not terrible.
Stubber shot from the Rampager takes out the single infiltrator, but the other Wardog and Lord Discordant failed to do anything. Tyrant needed to do a lot more work in this phase, and it just didn't.
Well, I gotta do some good charging here to make up for all that badness. Let's start with the Disco Lord. He'll try and charge back here. 5, I don't know if that does it.
No, I was like 9 inches away.
He's gonna charge your Lord.
Oh, that Lord Discordant has failed his charge, but the 2 big knights are in. This could be trouble for Paul, and Tycho really needs a big fight phase here.
I'm gonna start with the Rampager. Well, you've got a big unbull, don't you?
Yep.
Yeah, I'll use my chainsword.
Ooh, using a chainsword is an interesting choice for Tycho. Considering the Grandmaster has a 3+ invulnerable save, Tycho needs to use a command point here to reroll a wound, giving him 4 chances at getting through that 3+. Paul uses a command point himself to reroll, and his Dreadknight takes no wounds.
That invulnerable save is going to be annoying. Reaper Chainsword. 3 hits. God, earth. That's super frustrating.
Demon Hammer. So 6 attacks. Rerolling once. 3 ups. D6, minimum 3.
It's been really disturbing how much damage I've done that has not happened.
Now the Warlord is unleashing into that Desecrator.
Rerolling once. 5 hits. 3 swoon.
9 plus 8.
17.
We missed telling you there that Tycho managed 15 primary points during his command phase, satisfying all 3 domination conditions, as well as scoring 3 points for Bring It Down when he destroyed the 1 Grandmaster with his Rampager. Now we go into the end of turn 2, and he's going to score 3 more points for Engage on all fronts, and another 3 for Grind Him Down. Paul does score 10 victory points for Titan Slay when the Rampager was demon hammered out of existence. That brings us to an end of turn 2 score of 14 victory points for the Grey Knights and 29 points for Chaos. Tycho's got a good lead here, but he's struggling to get through the Grey Knight armor, and all his big knights are either dead or badly battered. Paul starts the turn with a superior model count and board control. However, he's not moved onto those objectives, and he goes another turn without scoring any primary points. That's a big deal, and it's going to keep Tycho comfortably in the lead. That's a huge change from 8th edition as well. Definitely got to be on those primaries in 9th.
I'm going to spend 2 command points for Heat the Prognosticators on the Warlord.
Heating the Prognosticators, Tycho's going to have to deal with possibly 2 Grandmasters with a 3-up invuln save. That is tough.
Dreadknight will advance. Psychic phase. He's going to throw up Sanctuary. 6, yeah. Interceptor will smite the Skull Lord. Goes off. This Dreadknight will smite him. Nope. Astral Aim on the Purgation. Goes off. Last. I'm going to use Psychic Onslaught for 2 command points on my Grandmaster, shooting at the Tyrant. 4 damage. -2, 2 damage each.
So I took 4 there. He's almost dead.
The Warlord will shoot at the Desecrator.
1 gets through. How much?
2 damage. This Psycannon, shoot at him. All hits. Strength 7, toughness 7. 4 up. 1. Flamer, shoot at him. 2. It is -1, 2 damage.
He got torched.
Purgation Squad takes a few wounds off the War Dog, Interceptors take a few wounds off the Lord Discordant, and into the charge phase, all of Paul's charges are in. This could be really bad for Tycho.
Let's start with this the board. Let's attack that. Rolling once. This 1. 3. D6. 3. That's a lot. Attack. 3 to hit on the Tyrant.
Gotta roll a lot of 2s here for me to survive. Oh, that's almost enough 2s. So let's see if he explodes. He does not.
Ooh, he's dodged one here with the Tyrant not blown up.
Only 4 attacks because I didn't get charged. Happy feet.
The Desecrator gets to fight first and will absolutely have to take down the Grandmaster as Tycho is fast running out of assets. Oh no!
Still ice.
The Desecrator does not do anything against the Warlord Grandmaster.
Hit. Rerolling once. Up.
Paul is not rolling great here and burns a command point to get another wound, which looks like enough, and man oh man, those knights are getting absolutely wasted by those demon hammers.
Now my disco decides to get some revenge.
Oh, and boy does it ever as it destroys that entire unit of interceptors.
That's the end of the fight phase.
Yep.
I roll a d6. On a 4 up, my tyrant rises. Master to none. Yeah!
End of Paul's turn here, and he scores 2 points for engage in all fronts, and his hammers are doing work. He's maxed out Titan Slayer. Takes us to a mid-round score of 21 for Paul and 29 for Tycho. With Paul not moving on to objectives though, Tycho's going to score 10 primary points to take him to 39.
Well, I gotta kill some Dreadknights and in a hurry, because I need 3 objectives for happiness. I only have 3 models for happiness. I deal with this threat personally. What is he going to do?
I'm so lucky on my second and third turn.
You have made a lot of lovely 3-ups. I'm really hoping that one of those doesn't get made. The Tyrant will start the shooting phase. Here's the one set of Meltas into... I'm gonna reroll that 1 with my 1 CP. So that's 2 wounds. One got through!
I think I want to use my reroll.
God damn it! More invulnerable saves. 4 shots to the lance.
Save.
Okay. So here's the battle cannons. 3 wounds.
All save.
Right. This is not going as well as I'd hoped. Meltas. So that's 1 wound with the Melta.
1 wound to Melta. 3 up. Save.
Is that another 3-up save? 2d6 plasma. Overcharge, 'cause why not?
Tycho is risking it for the biscuit here, folks. Tyrant's only got 2 wounds remaining, and Tycho chooses to supercharge?
I can't re-roll this, can I? I just killed him with plasma.
In true Chaos fashion, Tycho denies Paul the satisfaction of killing the Tyrant by destroying it himself.
All right, let's kill some Dreadknights. 1 gun into him, 1 gun into him. He better do it, because I got nothing else.
Sorry, Tycho. Paul's making all his armor saves here. What can I do? Oh, Tycho does not score any secondaries this turn, and we're going to end the turn with a score rating 39-21 in his favor. Got a real nail biter here as we see Paul not scoring points again, though he has a commanding board presence. Paul's immediately spending command points on Heed the Prognosticators, and I wonder, can Tycho do anything on those Dreadknights anymore at all?
Shunting over.
I was thinking about Psychic Phase Sanctuary on him.
Wait, Paul, you forgot something!
Goes off.
He didn't move.
I'm in my set. Shoot.
Technically, you've cast spells. You can go back and move, Paul. I don't care. You want to come over and grab that one?
Good sportsmanship from Tycho.
So let's start with this guy shooting at him.
Will the War Dog survive? Takes 2 damage from the first Psycannon.
So 3 up. 5.
Minus.
1.
War Dog has 2 wounds remaining, and Paul is now shooting with his Warlord Grandmaster. Any shot that gets through means the War Dog is done.
And saving on force.
Wow! Tycho's gonna survive this turn and stay in the game. Paul does not blow him off the objectives. This is huge!
I survived!
Paul scores 2 points for engaging all fronts to take him to 23 points total and is fast running out of time to catch Tycho. Tycho scores a huge 5 points by surviving on those 2 objectives to take him to 44.
So I got lucky in that I am still on some objectives and then score a few points. But if I kill one enemy Dreadknight, I can really score some secondary points and put myself in the lead.
Invulnerable save, 3s.
Great. Awesome. So much fun. So I can't get through his invulnerable saves.
Turn 5, and Paul finally gets on the board for primary points, but it looks like it's too little too late. He takes his score to 38 in his command phase, but Tycho remains in the lead with his 44. A great showing for Paul and his Grey Knights, but not paying attention to those primary objectives has cost him the game. Grey Knights did what they do well, and they purged the Chaos threat completely, but Paul can only score another 2 points here for engage on all fronts. Both players are going to get 10 points for fully painted armies, and we end the game 50 points for Paul and 54 points for Tycho. What an incredibly close match.
So it turns out that the tyrant is undefeated. Victory!
On that note, thank you to both players for an incredible match. Tycho, Paul, well done, gents. Thank you to TurboDork as well for sponsoring this episode. Do you want your army to be as shiny as those Grey Knights? Check out TurboDork and their incredible range of paints. On behalf of everybody here at Play on Tabletop, thank you for watching. Till next time we see you in the far-flung future of a grimdark universe, play on.